This is We're Gonna Make You Watch.
Hey everybody, welcome to We're Gonna Make You Watch It. Me and Isaiah are chilling here, and we decided that it was time to do another movie review for you guys. So we both went and saw Longlegs, didn't we?
Yes, we sure did.
I actually have no idea what Isaiah thinks of this movie, and he knows. I don't think he knows what I think of it either.
No.
So we're gonna kind of find out together. I want go first. What do you think, man? What did you think of Longlegs?
So kind of going into it, they had kind of a viral media campaign that kind of happened with this.
Yeah.
To start out with these weird teasers that didn't really tell you anything. Like, we knew that this movie was coming, but we didn't know based off the teasers that this was going to end up being Longlegs. So right off the bat, I mean, number one, this is like one of the top movies of this last weekend, in its first weekend. And it made a decent chunk of money for being, kind of an independent horror movie, which is great. Right. It's fucking phenomenal how well this movie did in comparison to because Twisters came out at the same time. And the fact that it's doing as well as it is in comparison to some of the other movies, because you also got the fourth Bad Boys movie is out, that came out recently, and among other things. So the fact that it's doing as well as it is very good. Now, I will say that right now, this is probably my favorite movie of the year thus far.
Okay, excellent.
I love how it kind of combines a couple of different things. Number one, when I was in the theater watching this, obviously you could see kind of the comparisons to Seven and Silence of the Lambs even. I kind of like how it's kind of a good combination of that, but also they throw in some really weird supernatural stuff in there too, which we won't spoil or anything like that. But there's some stuff that happens towards the end of this movie. It's like, what the fuck? And I'm here for it. And honestly, Neon has been putting out some really good gems lately, and the fact that they were able to kind of do this and kind of knock it out of the park is pretty great. I mean, number one, Nicolas Cage. Anytime I can get Nicolas Cage in a horror movie like this, especially as a villain, I will fucking take it. Because right from the first scene in this movie, which I won't go into really any detail, but you meet Longlegs right in the beginning of this movie, and it's kind of fucking unsettling. Like, I was sitting in the movie theater and I'm just like, oh, this kind of makes me feel icky on the inside.
Yeah.
Just from the first meeting of this dude. And it just kind of just snowballs from there, and it's like, honestly, it's almost a 2-hour movie, and it didn't feel like it was 2 hours. Like, by the time the movie was over with, I thought that was it. I could have sworn I was only in here for an hour. So it moved at a really, really decent pace. So those are kind of my first things that I'll kind of put out there. It is probably my favorite movie of the year thus far.
I like it. Okay, good deal. Good deal. I like it. I don't honestly love it, but I do like it. This movie for me, this movie is to horror what the Joker was to comic book movies. For me anyway. I think that this movie is good, but what this movie really is for me is some very good performances.
For sure.
There's 4 just fantastic performances in this film. And for me, they are in my opinion, the best thing about the movie. Now, that, like I said, I did enjoy the movie. I think it's good. But Nicolas Cage is fantastic. Micah Monroe is fantastic. Alicia Witt's fantastic.
Yep.
Blair Underwood, fantastic. All 4 of those actors just brought their A game to this movie. And I think that it's got the atmosphere is unreal. It's unsettling. It's so good. Osgood Perkins is a great director. By the way, yes, that is Anthony Perkins' son.
Dude's got it in his blood for sure.
Yeah, it's in his blood. It's genetic. Dude's a good filmmaker. Dude's a very good filmmaker. And do I think this movie's great? Honestly, no, I don't. It's good. It's a good movie. But without those fantastic performances, I think this movie is honestly forgettable. I think the story is fine, but I think for me the movie kind of falls apart around the third act a little bit.
Okay.
I kind of checked out a little bit there. I actually almost fell asleep.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I actually almost fell asleep. I had to get up. And I was like, holy shit, what the fuck? Like I said, though, I do genuinely like the movie. I think it's good. But I think that this movie, for me, is kind of a product of the hype train.
Okay.
And I think that that's a good thing. Don't get me wrong. That's a good thing that the marketing Neon fucking marketed this movie brilliantly. They need to teach A24 what to fucking do when it comes to marketing films, because they really did a great job marketing this movie, and I'm so glad that it worked out and that that's making money, because I think the movie genuinely deserves to, because it's a good movie.
Yeah.
When you mentioned the comparisons to things like Seven and Silence of the Lambs, I see it, and while I agree, this movie to me is not nearly as good as either one of those two movies. And I know it sounds like I don't like it. I know that probably sounds like I don't like it, but Longlegs is far from a masterpiece, in my opinion. And Seven and Silence of the Lambs are. Those are two of the best films made in their respective years, hands down. Seven is still David Fincher's greatest film, and that guy's made some great fucking movies.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Seven is still his masterpiece, in my opinion. Now I think this movie is very good. The Black Coat's Daughter is better. Okay. I think that this isn't good as that. But God dang, those performances in this movie are so fucking good. Blair Underwood is so underrated in this movie. He's so fucking good, and particularly he picks up the final act.
Oh, for sure.
It is an unsettling movie. The atmosphere is so good, and it's built so well, and that's good direction. It's very good direction. It's some really good visual storytelling in this movie too.
Yeah.
But yeah, while I like the movie, it was a little overhyped for me when I wish I just hadn't seen shit. You know what I mean? I might have a different opinion if I had went in completely blind, but people tweeting that this was the scariest movie they'd ever seen, and I'm like,
I definitely wouldn't say that by a long shot.
Yeah, because but you saw that, right? Yeah. I mean, because I saw that, I'm like, oh, this is the scariest movie I've ever seen in my life, and I'm like, okay. I mean, awesome. That's awesome. And
I mean,
if it brings you,
if it was, I mean, no,
right, no shame. If that brings you into horror and you start watching horror, fuck yeah, that's awesome. I'm glad. I'm really, really glad. It's definitely far from the scariest film I've ever seen. It is very unsettling, and that's because mostly due to just fantastic performances and great direction in this movie. Yeah. So yeah, that's where I sit. That's where I sit on this movie. I think that it's a good movie. It's really good. It's definitely worthy of the money it's making for sure.
Yeah. Definitely. I definitely.
I'm glad you liked it. I'm glad I'm glad you have it up there that high as your favorite picture of the year. That's fucking cool, dude.
Yeah, I mean, obviously that's probably going to change when Terrifier 3 comes out, but as of right now, it's my favorite one of the year, For sure. And I think a lot of that does come back to kind of the visuals in this movie. Like they very seamlessly switch from between like the old like 8mm or 16mm type footage for like the the flashback sequences,
Right.
and going back into present day, even though it's like the 90s or something like that.
Yeah, it takes place in the 90s.
So, and I also feel that they really nailed like the time periods pretty good too.
Mhm.
You know,
Agreed.
for what they did. The sound design was great in this too. I know Osgood Perkins' brother Elvis Perkins did the music for the
Yeah.
movie, so
Yeah.
that was fantastic too.
Yeah, they made it a family affair. It's very cool.
Mhm.
I love it.
Yeah, just all around. I mean, really, kind of the only thing that I would really nitpick is kind of some of the supernatural elements of it. If it were me doing it, I probably wouldn't have added some of that in there. But then again, it makes it different at the same time, and because I don't mind it at all.
Right.
And with how they kind of went about some of the things in there, it was kind of cool because you don't really see that kind of stuff a whole lot. But because when you're watching this movie in the theater and you don't really know much about it, you're thinking, oh, this is going to be more kind of real life kind of drama, thriller, whatever. But then it takes that turn and it's like, okay, well, this is weird.
Yeah. It flips the script on you pretty well. It really does. Yes.
Yeah. So
yeah, there's I think I tend to agree with the supernatural stuff. I was just like, I felt like it, and that's another minor issue I have with the film is I think that this movie asks a lot of questions,
mhm.
and it doesn't answer hardly any of them at all. Sometimes that's a good thing. I think that there's just so much that you walk away from and you're like, what the fuck? You just don't know. Like, honestly, you don't even know what the hell Longlegs is. You know what I mean? Like, he just it's like, it's a throwaway line kind of at the beginning of the movie, and then he just signs everything Longlegs.
Yep.
So it definitely, I mean, it sounds creepy.
Right.
But there's a lot of questions asked in this movie and very few answers. Now maybe it might be like a rewatchable thing, kind of. I'll probably watch it again. I don't see any reason why not. I did enjoy it enough that I would absolutely watch it again.
Right.
So maybe if on some repeated viewings, I could figure some of this shit out, because there is a lot of questions. It's like, what is in the dolls? Like, what is that? You know what I mean? Like, they don't. Yeah, but like I said, once again, I don't want to get into too spoilery.
Yeah.
Anything like that, but. So yeah, so well, there you go. What do you what kind of grade would you give this?
So this one I would probably go a little higher. I would probably go an A- on this. I do think it's a solid movie, and other than some of the kind of over the top supernatural stuff, I think it was very, very well done. I love the story with it, and the characters I loved, the aesthetic I loved, the music I loved.
Mm-hmm.
There wasn't much with this movie that I did not like. So yeah, I would say a good solid A- on this.
Nice. I'll slide just underneath you. I'd give it a B+ myself, because man, those performances are so good in this movie, and they can really, really carry a movie pretty far, especially with 4 bangers in there. Golly,
Yeah, for sure.
They really are some 4 just fantastic performances in
yeah
film, so awesome stuff. Well, all right, guys, definitely hit us up in the comments. Let us know what you guys thought of Longlegs, and like and share and subscribe, and thanks for checking out this little video. You got anything you want to throw out these awesome viewers?
No, if you guys have any other movies you guys want us to review, just let us know.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you all so much, and we'll catch you all on the next episode.